saying? You know that super old saying, the one that increasingly becomes more annoying. You know, there's no rest for the wicked. Yeah. I mean, I don't even think I'm particularly wicked, but, you know, no rest. This week has been incredibly insane, so chaotic, so busy, and I hardly had enough time just to sit down and breathe, like deep breaths, deep breaths in and out, and in and out. And you know, another saying that I have completely become absolutely in one, in sync, and absolutely understand it immensely recently is the other saying. It never rains, but it pours. Just when you think that things can't possibly get worse, just when you think you're completely at the bottom and the only way left for you to go is up, it gets worse. It's like that sometimes, life. I wonder why. Like, think about it. Think about it as like a meal. You have a plate and you put all your food on this plate and it's overflowing. You don't add more to the plate to the point that the food just can't get any more on and it's just falling off. But sometimes that's what happens. And I'm not always very good at controlling everything. I usually tend to fall into one of two categories. One, I either completely fall apart, just utterly useless, or I overdo things. So I'll bury myself in work out too much, just anything, so as I won't just sit and obsess about everything that I need to worry about. And while that works at the start, it can't continue because I never really relaxed. So this weekend, while the week has been completely insane, I couldn't really rest. I had to catch up on work that I hadn't done in the week. certainly never had a video that lasted that long with that many views. And you're listening to this and thinking, but Charm, there's not a lot of views. What are you talking about? I know my views. So 1K is quite a lot, especially since the algorithm it's seemingly different these days. But that was my silver lining anyway, because sometimes you put so much work into something, and then you, in this instance a video, you put it out and you think this is actually really good, and it doesn't do great at all. The algorithm just goes nope, not today. And that's a little bit disheartening, really. I mean, I don't let it get to me, of course. I mean, that's just a bit silly, but it's still disappointing nonetheless. So when you have a video that I put out and it gets that many views in that time, I was especially proud. Can I be proud? Oh, anyway, who cares? I was especially happy, happy. I was especially happy with the ramble, because that was just a really pleasant surprise. So silver linings. I am doing this ramble, as you can hear, with some brush sounds. It is a different brush that I used in my ramble the other day. That one was of a shorter length and a little bit thicker than this one. This one is longer and very thinner. To be honest, it's a makeup brush, but I have no idea what the heck makeup it does. I don't use makeup, so I have no idea. No idea. So my last ramble, I did Tales of Tik Tok, and while I don't have any Tales of Tik Tok, no drama, no gossip, nothing really that I can pass along, we can talk about some things from TikTok, because I've still been flipping through the TikTok, yes, the TikTok, and every day last week TikTok gave me clips of a different movie each day. Yes, this was in between the various different Turkish dramas, Turkish soap operas, Turkish films. So much so that I completely understand the formula for Turkish drama utterly. Now it seems that on the face of it, Turkish drama is very much the most dramatic form of soap opera that I have ever witnessed in my life. It is even more dramatic than a telenova, and that is true, my friends. That is true. I used to think that the American ones were completely just so overly dramatic, just dramatic, just too much. You know, people coming back from the dead, and you know, like they've started doing that in British soap operas now. it's insane. Like a character that died 20 years ago is like, hey, I've been alive this whole time. What do you mean? I remember they found your body. It's madness. It's midsummer madness. So Turkish soap operas, Turkish films and Turkish dramas all seem to have one formula, because every single film or drama of any kind is basically the same. The same characters, just played by different actors with different names. But ultimately it's the same. So you have the love interest. He's rich, he's attractive, he's very attractive, but he's a jackass. Yes, he's never nice. And he's especially not nice to his female love interest. Sometimes they're already married. Sometimes they get married. Sometimes, and this is a common theme, sometimes they're lovers from the past, and somehow some big massive misunderstanding happened or occurred, and they were forced apart. They drifted apart. So he has formed a unhealthy dislike of her. He completely hates her. So 5 years down the line, which happens to be a very common number, 5 years into the future, they meet again, and he hates her. Oh my gosh, he hates her even more than he hated her 5 years before. But of course it's not really hate, it's love, because they do say that love and hate are close. And then there's always a mean girl. Now, the mean girl can appear in many forms. She can be a sister of the heroine of the show who had an affair with her first husband. That's a common theme too, sisters having affairs, or best friends having affairs with husbands. And there's this big, massive, dramatic reveal, like one I saw. It's very popular, it seems, because there was a couple during a big family dinner. It gets revealed. Everybody's named and shamed. There was one. I can't remember the name of the film, but so there's this guy, and one day he goes on a plane. I think they fly to London. Anyway, he's in the Turkish mafia. I wasn't aware that there was a Turkish mafia, but apparently there is. I did question the whereabouts of a Welsh mafia, but everybody told me shut up. So, I did question forming one myself, but I don't really have the spare time to put in all the extra work, to be honest, to be some kind of mafia don. I don't have the time. Go. So he's flying to London, and he's on this plane with his goons, his mafia goons, his Turkish mafia goons. And then this woman comes on the plane, okay? She's attractive. somehow, when they land, after a few days they meet again, and they keep meeting. He likes her, so he finds ways to, and so they basically fall in love. But they fall in love. Now the problem is this. For some reason, somebody, I never found out who because the clips never showed me, was forcing a mafia don to marry someone he didn't want to marry. So, despite the fact that this guy has all this power, instead of marrying the woman he loved, he married the other woman he didn't love and was unhappy for 5 years. See, 5 years is the golden number. The golden number. So 5 years passes. And one day, I think they're still in Turkey this time. I'm not sure. He's in this big, luxurious hotel. And he gets into a lift, a elevator. To anybody who is not British, a elevator. And he's with his wife, the one he doesn't want. That bit was the unrealistic bit for me. Yet this mafia don who doesn't follow the rules, who breaks the law every single day, he laughs in the face of authority, but he bowed down to a marriage of convenience. Not buying it. Anyway, so he and his wife, she never looks very happy, but she's a very beautiful woman, so I don't know, maybe that helps her. And they're standing in this lift. And guess who walks in? Yes, it's the woman that he fell in love with, that he really loves. The woman who stole his heart. The goofy woman who was terrified of flying. She walks in. She doesn't see him because she kind of backs in. Because she's got a little boy. Little boy. And if you have got to this point and you're thinking, uh-oh, no, this sounds a little bit predictable, it's because it is. Yes, that little boy is the mafia don's son. Yes, Babes. So the mafia don, of course, he recognizes her at first sight. And he's stunned to see this little boy. And she gets in with his man, right, into the lift. So of course it's assumed that this man is her husband or partner, or, So he's jealous, but he's shocked. And somehow he drags down her room. I don't know why she's staying in this hotel. But he tracks them down. He said to his wife, listen, I need to go and find this woman that I love. There's this little kid with her and a guy. This can't be happening. Anyway, so he finds out because he suspects that this is his kid for some reason. Anyway, he finds out for certain that the little boy is his, but he still thinks this guy is her husband or partner or whatever. And then he realizes, well, she tells him it's her brother. It is her brother and not her husband or partner or whatever. And he's happy. So they rekindle tells the woman to shoot him to end the blood feud that has existed between their families. And there's this little boy sobbing, like the very powerful memory you will have growing up is that of seeing his father shot to death. Anyway, so the woman, she's crying. She clearly doesn't want to shoot this guy, but she does anyway. And he dies. And that's it. That's it. I find those movies to be very unsatisfying. Unsatisfying. I hate them. If a movie has a sad ending or an ending like that, I won't watch it. Because you want me to invest in these characters. You want me to follow their journey, and it's going to end that way. No. No. This is how I look at it. We live our lives for ourselves. We follow our own stories blindly. We never know where we're going. And we meet an end of a road with someone. Sometimes it's definite. And sometimes it's just a little blip, just a little hiatus. And sometimes it's eternal. That's reality. We never know where we're going to go one day to the next. And that's true. I see entertainment as an escape. I don't want to be part of that. I want to escape that and smile. We can have little dramas and things along the way, but ultimately I want to get to that part. There are some people who disagree with me because I know people who like sad things so that they can cry because they feel it's good for them to cry. I don't know those people. I'm just like, I side-eye those people. I think they're shady. Yes. Why am I friends with them, you ask? Oh, I don't know. Keeping an eye on them. Make sure they don't do anything shady. On Thursday, or was it Wednesday? I had a rather lovely day when the movie that TikTok kept showing me was a Angelina Jolie movie. Now, I have loved Angelina Jolie since Girl Interrupted. I watched it a couple of years after it came out because I didn't watch it when it came out, but still, it still counts. I love Angelina Jolie, okay? Always. Not only is she a very beautiful, attractive woman, she's also a very talented actress. I find Hollywood to be very limited in charismatic lead-in ladies and lead-in men. I may be alone in this opinion, but Angelina Jolie is not one of them at all. So, and the movie was perhaps an odd choice for me, a very anti-Disney person. I was never a Disney fan growing up. All my friends were, and it was very common, especially to be a kid and watch Disney movies and things. But I've just always really not been a Disney stan. decided to send me clips from both Melissa's, get it right, Maleficent films. Now, I've never seen the films because I told you, no Disney. I've never seen them, so I didn't know that these clips were, I thought it was one film because the hashtags was labeled just Maleficent. So on Wednesday, that's what I did. I just found excuses to just flip from Twitter just a little bit more than usual to catch all these clips of Angelina Jolie with horns and, I don't know, rigid cheekbones. And listen. I wouldn't say this normally, but even with horns, that woman is hot. And I will tell you this. I don't normally find the upper class, posh English accent attractive. It's not something I find attractive at all, but when Angelina Jolie does it, oh my god. Oh my goodness. Yes. There's only one other actress that does it as well, and definitely would. Eva Green is. When she speaks English with her English accent, I always completely forget that she's French and from Paris. How are you doing that? Anyway, like always, the algorithm swiftly changed, and because I find that it changes every 24 hours. I get recommended things, and then the next day I won't get recommended those things anymore, and I'll get something else, and then the next day I'll get something else. Is that normal, or is that just me? It must be normal. Like TikTok's not singling me out. Or is it? More politics on TikTok found me this week. I really don't want politics or anything like that. I just want to be entertained. Is that so hard? I found another account this week. It wasn't one that I ever thought that I would find on any kind of social media, but it is a Russian woman who lives in America. She's very beautiful, and she does jokes, like little skits, and they're actually really funny. They're like one woman monologues, some of them. They're actually really funny, I can't always relate because, her skits are taken from the perspective of a straight woman, so that's not really something that I can relate to, but was something I've never really understood. Never really understood. Anyway, but I have a theory that they keep doing it because she gives them attention. She always barks back at their comments, and so the more you feed trolls, the more they will go. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. It's the best advice you'll ever get when you become a content creator online of any kind. Don't feed the trolls. In fact, a lot of TikTok creators' content does seem to be replying to people's comments, people's nasty, people's trollish, people's really horrid comments. And of course, the more attention that they give them, the more they will keep commenting those things, because that's what they want. They want your attention. They want you to get angry. It makes them feel happy. There's an account on TikTok that I follow, and this week he was selling, advertising this medicine, I don't know, pills, I think. Apparently they can cure diseases. That's his words. And I thought, what the heck is this? This is so weird. I've been noticing this for a while. You've got TikTokers over there selling loans. Freaking loans to people. How the heck? You got them selling loans and medicine and pills and potions. And it's like the days when, in like the old West, when they would go around selling snake oil. Why are you taking advice from this TikToker called Dave, who does like filter content and like mildly amusing skits every few days? Like, who's gonna do that? this one day I thought, no, it looked nice, so I decided to make it, and it actually did taste quite nice. Yes, it tastes quite nice. I like these Tales of TikTok videos. It's like imparting gossip. I'm telling tales from TikTok over here to YouTube. I don't want to make this any longer because I have to edit this, because I have to get it up. So I will say